Do you have a problem where you feel like you're often nice to other people, but they don't return your kindness? Sometimes they may even overstep your needs and they just take advantage of your good nature until you feel like they overstep their boundaries. If you often feel this way, you may be someone who is strong in the type S behavioral profile based on the DISC framework. Now, what is DISC? DISC is a behavioral psychology framework that has been in use for close to 100 years worldwide by psychologists, corporations, business people to understand our everyday behavior and why we do the things we do. Now, a high S person is someone who likes to service other people and they understand other people's feelings very well. Right? This type of person, they like to make other people feel comfortable, and in general, they're just very likable and nice. They're the nice people in our lives. However, at an unhealthy level, people high in the S behavioral profile can also be very passive aggressive. Why is that so? Because type S people, they are so good at understanding other people's feelings and seeing their point of view. Sometimes they assume that everyone else will know what they want without them having to say it too. Right? Because it's so obvious to them what other people want. But in reality, other people who are not as high in the S behavioral profile generally don't know what they want because they are not as good at sensing their feelings or their needs. So when this continues, high S people can often feel very angry and resentful because their needs are not being met, right? But because they also hate conflict, they don't like to confront other people. They don't voice out that they're unhappy. They will rather keep quiet, and every time their needs are not met, they will think that, oh, that's because other people are doing it purposely, because they don't care about them, because they want to take advantage of them. Right? So they start to appear very passive aggressive. Like, have you ever worked with someone where they're not happy about something, but they just want to tell you what it is, right? So you can sit at the same table and they will sit there with a black face. And then every time you tell them something, they'll be like, really? Are you sure? That kind of feeling. And the atmosphere will quickly get very awkward, like you owe them money or something. That's a very common scenario when someone is high in S but at an unhealthy level, right? And it's a serious problem because in the end, they don't get what they want and other people don't know what they want. So it's a lose-lose situation, right? So if you're high in S and you know that you have this kind of behavior, how can you solve this problem of passive aggressiveness? One way is if you are able to clearly communicate what you're looking for at the start of a relationship and not at the end, right? It could be a work relationship, it could be your career, it could be a romantic relationship, it could even be like a family partnership or client relationship, it doesn't matter, right? Instead of expecting other people to know what you want or understand some kind of unwritten rule that only you can sense, you just say what you want. In DISC framework, that means we switch from using the S behavior, where we try to use it to understand what other people's needs and wants are, we switch to use the C behavioral profile. Now, what is C behavior? It's a profile where we are very logical and very clear in our thinking and our communications, right? And when we communicate, we use facts and figures. It helps us to be very precise and to be fair and impartial to all parties when we are talking to others. So other people know what we expect from them, and they can also know what they can expect from us. So in this way, when they make a mistake, we can very easily communicate why we feel they have not kept do their end of the bargain. Like for example, if you have a partner or a worker who's supposed to take care of a customer, and they didn't take care of the customer, and the customer kind of complain to you, and then you have to cover for them, right? Which happens pretty often. Then you can easily talk about why you're unhappy, right? You can say that, this customer is yours, but then I have to take care of them because you're not doing it, right? And they will, because you communicated to them before that, hey, you're supposed to take care of your own customers. So they will say, yes, yes, you're right. This is something that I should do. Thanks for helping me out, right? Secondly, as people often have a problem with putting a value or number to their expectations. So I give you an example. Let's say if as people they are hiring a salesperson, they will say something like this: I want a reasonable increase in sales revenue. Right? They will either say this or they won't even say it out at all because they will think it's so obvious. When I hire a salesperson, obviously I want to see a reasonable increase in sales revenue. But the problem is, what is a reasonable increase in sales revenue? Because everybody's expectation of reasonable is different, right? So maybe what they expect is something like this, right? But the salesperson expectation is something like this. They don't know because there are no numbers, right? And because they didn't put any numbers, because they say, oh, I just want to be nice and accommodating, they often don't get what they expect. And because they assume that the salesperson knows their expectations, right? So they think that the salesperson purposely don't meet them because they just want to take advantage of them. And that's when they get angry. But when they get angry, they don't say anything until the anger builds up over and over again, like a volcano, until one day they cannot take it anymore and then they explode in anger. Oh. Then everyone around them is surprised. How come this person who is normally so calm, so caring, suddenly become like this person from hell? So if you want to avoid this, when high S people are setting expectations, are communicating expectations, they must have some kind of quantifiable results in mind, right? So they must have some kind of numbers, and the other side must agree. Then the expectations are clear, right? So this is all very well to know the theory, but how do you switch behavior from being someone who is very accommodating, who is very understanding, who is very caring, to someone who is very analytical, who is very precise, right? Who is being very fair and impartial? Now, I'm doing a training in the Life Strengths DISC Facebook community on how to overcome your biggest obstacles to achieving your goals based on your personal DISC behavioral profile. If you go outside, DISC training typically starts from $200 per person, and you have to get it from a training agency, right? But if you join our Life Strengths Facebook group, it will be available to you for free. So if you found what I've shared with you to be helpful, and you want to learn more about yourself and how you can reach your goals faster and easier, join our Life Strengths community. I look forward to welcoming you inside. See you.